what I think your worth is equatable to is nothing. It's shit.
I'm going to isolate that one bit of audio because it sounded fucking terrible.
Was it bad?
Welcome back.
Hey, Jamie.
Have you ever seen a more punchable face?
Sandwich bread.
Back in the day, there was a thing called Twitter.
Really? Michiganders.
That's sad. Blue check, verified.
Nothing that we say is fact. Do not pour that into your microphone. Oh my God.
Let's smoke about it podcast.
Because both of us have lost our jobs and we're doing this from under a bridge. But you're just going to...
You're going to tell everyone that shit?
never mind.
Yeah.
My bad.
Dude.
We're good.
Don't put that shit out there. I have found a new zen, if you will. Like a different level of who I'm supposed to be now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I'm just
You on an ayahuasca trip or something?
No, I wish I was. Listen, I'm 100% drug free, except for like caffeine, tobacco, and alcohol.
Gotcha.
But I found myself the other day. It was a funny situation. We were doing something at work, and something that normally would have got completely and totally under my skin. I guess I just decided that it wasn't really that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we like made a gestation, and everything was groovy.
Right.
I come home now, and I'm not just stressed out of my mind, like not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Which I had been for so long.
Yeah. Wound tight.
Yo, like tighter than Dick's hat band. Like it was bad.
Hammers, door handles.
Oh yeah. And now I just kind of get to this point where I'm just like, well, man, it is what it is, and I love it.
Well, that's good.
I feel like I've got this new chapter of my life that's just allowing me to be something better that I thought that I couldn't have been before.
Well, that's good.
And it all comes hand in hand with like new like protocol and rules and things like that that are super easy to follow.
Right.
It's the super
You've
standard
got structure in your life.
Right. This is what I tell people all the time. It's a crazy way to think that like if you have this job that you go into and you don't have to worry about anything, you can fuck off and do whatever you want to, and over time it becomes chaos. This job, 100% different.
Right.
Like there's rules, routines, there's processes, there's whole 9 yards. It's coming from the job that I came from is like it's structured for success. Like follow the rules and you look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Deviate from the rules and you look like a fucking idiot.
Right.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now the people around me may not, probably because they've been in that same mundane thing.
Mm-hmm. Been there for a long time doing it.
Yeah.
It's like being a new visitor to North Korea versus somebody who's lived there for a long time.
Okay. Yeah. No, well, let's do that. Let's have fun with that. Let's North Korea. Yeah, it's probably a whole bunch of rules and situations or absurd situations that have been put in place that don't allow you to do dumb shit.
Right. Yeah, well, look, hey, given the place that you work, given the importance of that area, I'm all for as many rules. Like, I mean, if you got to scan your tissue after you wipe your ass just to make sure.
Yeah, I like it.
That you're not,
seriously
sneaking out uranium in your uranium.
It's not uranium. Basic uranium. It's uranium-235. And the chances of me getting my hands on that would be, well, it would result in just immediate death and ridiculous amounts of gamma radiation.
So probably none in your ass.
I mean, I'd have to fall and fairly quickly and directly on a fuel rod, but no.
Gotcha. Ow.
Yeah.
Sounds painful.
Can I hit your vape?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, my bad. Because you wanted to, so we pre-gamed before this, and you made me stand there without a cigarette for a minute.
I made you stand where without a cigarette?
Outside in your garage.
No, I didn't. You smoked up until the point where we walked in.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
No, it's not. I had to
you
sit
smoked.
And you were like, "Do you want to hear the Rock's new song?" And I'm like, "No, I really fucking don't." And then you were like, "Check out this TikTok."
Oh. Okay.
I'm like, listen here,
This-
CT. This
is what
is
we're
not.
doing?
Yeah, I mean,
This is
come
what
on.
we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
So, it's how long's it been?
I need the sound of a hammer cocking back, like the, because I hear it in here.
Okay. Well, no, use it then.
No. So what? See?
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've actually hit a vape pen. I've been so healthy over the course of the last probably 60-something days. It's ridiculous.
Awesome.
Like drinking a bunch of water.
That's
Um,
something I've been trying to increase myself.
Which I guess I didn't realize how important water was until I stopped. I did it for a while, and then
Mhm.
I stopped drinking it once, like, the weather changed. Like,
Mhm.
there was a weather switch, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm not sweating that much. It's not that important. And then my legs started to lock up. My elbows started I'm like, oh, I'm severely dehydrated.
Right.
And you can do that just as easy as in the winters. You can do it.
Do you
in the
do
summer.
liquid IV?
Yeah, not as often as I did before.
Mm-hmm.
I started to do it a little bit more regularly, and that's helped a lot. But I usually go through, so my like little water thing is like a quarter of a gallon, and I usually try to do 4 of those on purpose because that way I can say I drink a gallon of water. a day.
Right.
But it's not. It's
Hey,
not
I
really
got a
been that bad.
question.
Oh, go for it. I want to hear it.
Um,
Why do I feel like
have you heard, or actually, first off, did you know that pigeons die after sex?
look, pigeons? You mean like the bird?
Yeah, like gray pigeons.
Mm.
I mean, at least the one I fucked did.
You're stupid.
So check this out. There's a thing called. Have you heard of? What is it? Oh fuck, I forgot that. I think the acronym is MAPS.
Okay.
It's oh shit, what is it now? I can't remember.
Minor
what the
attracted people.
Yes, that's
Yes.
it.
Okay, yeah. Fuck all those motherfuckers.
Ain't that some crazy shit?
Yeah. The only map that you're gonna have is an easy way into 6 feet under this earth. Yeah, no, 100%. So, but in the day and age that we live in, it's kind of like ridiculous.
But I want to play with this.
Oh no, or with not a child.
No, I want to play with the idea of this for a minute. Because what do you do? Like,
You obviously diddle children.
no, hold on, hold on. What do you do? If okay, so somebody realizes, like, for whatever reason, whatever wire trip in their head, they do what they did. Because I mean, no matter what, you got to admit, just to have the ability to do something fucked up like that, obviously means something's
I feel like you're circumventing
your
the
mind.
situation. You mean like to touch a child?
yeah.
Inappropriate. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So if you realize that and then never act on it and never tell anybody and go on about your life, nobody would ever know. I mean, you could have met a person like that. They never know about, you would never know as long as nothing ever happens. Now, if a person like that realizes that and then goes to a therapist and sits down and is like, hey, this is what's going on in here. I want to stop it. I don't want it here. I don't like it. I know it's wrong, but it's in there. Then what transpires from that point?
Well, okay. I mean,
Do you go
I-
threat,
no,
threat, shoot him?
no,
Boom.
no. I mean, no. And here's the thing. We took a big hard left. I didn't realize we were going that way. But let's do this. So the idea is that somebody has an attraction to a minor.
I guess.
What's the attraction?
There's no way I can wrap my head around it, so I couldn't begin to explain it.
But you want to.
But I'm saying apparently it exists.
So the idea of somebody who has an attraction to a minor is something, and I agree, I can't wrap my mind around it all. However, they have their own, deficiency, their own breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume if I were to gather anything from any of the information that I've heard, it would just be the fact that you could dominate somebody. And I guess that in in the maps, whatever portion of society that is acceptable, which I mean, like, don't first tell you, I mean, like, bitch wants to be choked. I'm like, yeah, I can dominate. No,
Right.
no problem.
Right. Consenting adults.
Right. But like, where are you at when the makeup of power comes from an inability instead of a submission?
Right.
That's the problem
Total
that
difference. Right.
I have. So like, if someone's like, I want to be submissive, cool, I can be dominant.
Mm-hmm.
If the person doesn't realize
Has
the
no choice.
difference between the two of them, or doesn't have the choice,
Right.
It's one of the things. It's why Roe and Wade has been the thing that's bothered me more than any other court case in the world. And I know I'm switching from abortion to this, but you get the idea that you don't give someone a mental choice is the same reason why, if you you remember back in like ancient times where all marriages were predefined, like there was a prerequisite to who you were going to marry.
Right. Like arranged marriages
Arranged
type
marriages,
thing. Okay.
right.
Okay.
So
Still
you,
happens today,
right.
but in
you
some
have
cultures.
you have to think about this in your mind. If you could be a 17-year-old kid at this point in your life, and now you're going to marry a 12-year-old girl.
Right.
That's the setup, if you will.
Right.
At what part of that whole thing is that all right? There's no mental freedom from either one person to make a good decision, and you basically sent this one child, I'm talking about the 12-year-old, probably female, into a long line of lineage of just do what you're told, do what you're told, do what you're told.
Right.
I don't.
But that's that culture. So I guess what I would say to that, it's like we're over here. We have our morals, we have our cultural beliefs, we have our societal beliefs, we have everything that we've kind of formulated that we're cool with. What are we cool with? It's like where do you draw your lines, or where do you what are you good with morally or anything else? And plus we have defined laws that state, these ages of consent. Plus we know things like brain development at certain ages, and, the ability to make decisions and so on and so forth. But now you're talking about a culture that is doing something different. They got different beliefs. They got all.
Do not give them that grace. This is not a culture. This is a representation of a woke bullshit thing that's happening. Basically, what we've done as a society was we've let a whole bunch of people be like, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay.
No, where are you talking about, though? Like, you're talking about a different country, right?
No, I'm talking about here.
But you're talking about a different culture.
The culture that you're speaking of is the MAPS culture, right?
No, I'm sorry. I think we are on two different levels.
I apologize.
I'm talking about other. When I'm saying other cultures, I was talking about, because I thought you were talking about arranged marriages.
No,
so I'm talking about over in like the Middle East,
was.
where they are still marrying off 12-year-olds and so on and so forth.
Also realize this: they're raping 12-year-olds. They're taking advantage.
There's a lot of foul shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on here too.
Right, but what I'm saying is the arranged marriages are something that's happening, that's taking place, and with no cultural bias. Those are things that are just happening.
Right.
But what I'm telling you...
But they're things that we grew out of. I mean, that's basically all we did. We just quickly grew out of it. But I mean, we were a culture we come from a culture that our ancestry did that. I mean, there was 13-year-old wives already having kids.
I mean, you're talking about the biblical culture.
Well, I'm talking about...
in theory, you're talking about the biblical culture.
I'm saying, regardless of... there was a time when... No, and I'm not even saying going back.
I'm not asking you to do that, but yeah, you are.
But I'm not.
There
even
was
going
a time
back
where touching children was a rite of passage.
Right. So I'm saying it's almost like we've evolved from like when you go back to the stories that you do read in the Bible. But when I was actually talking about 13-year-old wives, I was talking about like
Little House on the Prairie.
yeah, like
Right, no, I
not
get it.
that long ago in the grand scheme of things. Like
In
my
your
grandmother
mental grand
was
scheme of
probably
things,
my
right, in your mental grand scheme of things, you're talking 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
which is not much.
Right. But you got to realize this as a culture that is way older than any Bible verse has ever told you that it is.
Yeah, I get it, but they kind of stopped at a point,
No, they didn't.
or did they reverse? Depending on what culture you're talking about, or what.
I don't think the.
But we got off of. I'm sorry. When culture threw me into different countries, different religions, different beliefs, different everything, we were talking about maps.
Yeah. So the idea of,
But-
this will be real fast. Let me do this. So the idea of the cleavers and the perfect quintessential household
Okay.
from America.
Mm-hmm.
Wally and Beeve, they never had boyfriends. They didn't have transsexual, bisexual, or homosexual
Right.
friends. And so I'm not saying that they didn't exist then, because they did. We know that they did. We'd be stupid to think that they didn't, because as a culture, do we think that this just came, like, now all of a sudden in the 80s people are born gay? Or in the 90s people are born gay? But they weren't born gay in the 40s? You fight against your own logic. So basically what we've done is we've mapped a continuous trail of things that are more acceptable. And this is the same thing that me and you go back all the time on.
Wait, hold on, because I think I lost you at a point, and I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Straight, I'm putting this out on the table. It's a little table and it's already cluttered, but I'm going to put this out here. I was making a joke in my head about transsexuals and beaver cleaver, and
I brought it to fruition.
but then, so I missed part of what you said.
So in my mind, the idea of what you've taken from the mid 50s till now
Mm-hmm.
is allowed society, or like a large portion of, not even religious, just a belief system,
Mm-hmm.
and allowed it to exacerbate way past its limits. I'm not saying that gay people are wrong. They're not. I'm not saying that transgender people are wrong. I'm not. I'm not saying that MAPS people are wrong. Yes, the fuck I am. What's the next? Where there's a general society that's it's okay to fuck kittens? Because we should have stopped
Okay.
at kids.
Now,
That's the problem.
okay. So now, hold on. Let me. I take different roads from you,
Mhm.
just to keep you riled
Because
up.
you're stupid.
Just to keep you riled up.
Because you're stupid.
No, seriously, just for sake of conversation,
I love it.
because I'm strictly going into this
MAPS.
mentally, though. I'm not looking at, because what you keep the way you refer to it is the way that anybody would emotionally refer to it. You're trying to excuse somebody who is attracted to minors. Like, that's okay.
No, I am not.
No, I'm saying.
Oh,
That's how you're
that I'm
saying
perceiving it from you.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
don't. No. Here's
So you think
Here's
it's
the
okay
way-
to fuck a kid?
Here's the way I look at it.
Okay.
I look at it as an acknowledgement, first off, that there's obviously, like we said, if you're a child molester, you're all fucked up, shoot you, bang, bang, bang. But there was obviously something fucked up mentally that allowed you to even do that, that allowed you to think that that was okay, to allow you to actually commit. Think about what it would take to commit that crime. Think about what it physically would take, and what's got to be going through. There has to be something crossed in a person's mind. Maybe everything else is fine. Maybe they know math. Maybe they even have a girlfriend and have some friends. But something is tweaked that allows them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if a person somewhere in the brain, if we're just like chunking out the brain into different sections, there's part of it that's going, you want to fuck a kid. Now, fortunately, there's another part of you that's going, oh no, that's not cool. So now if you are that person and you seek help, so now you say to somebody, a professional, hey, I want to fuck a kid, but I don't want to fuck a kid. It's in my head. I know it's here. I don't want it here. I don't
So-
want it here any more than anybody else does. I want it out of here. You're a professional. I need some help. What takes place at that point? Do you just bang, 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 shoot him? Because he hadn't fucked a kid. He didn't touch a kid. He didn't do nothing wrong, but he recognized it and he wants it to stop. What do you do with that guy?
Do you know what a slinky is?
Yeah, I do.
So how does a slinky work?
I
On
mean,
some sort of centrifugal continue to perpetual motion.
okay.
It will move itself
Okay.
just by inertia.
Okay.
The idea that somebody was so fucked up that they decided it was a good idea to touch a kid.
Right.
And then decided to touch their own kid.
Okay.
And then their own kid thought, well, I've gone through, fucking 18 years of hell getting touched by somebody until I could get out.
Mm-hmm. Ends up touching a kid.
Ends up touching a kid.
Right.
So I'm not calling molestation of a child perpetual.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that
There is a handoff.
there has to be an idea that if this kid, not chicken and egg scenario, there's this one child,
Mm-hmm.
and he is there with, let's do Neverland, or not Neverland. Sorry, my bad. What was where Peter Pan grew up? That was Neverland, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Neverland. So there's like 5 kids, right? And these kids obviously learn through whatever it is that makes people work, that procreation's a thing. At some point, somebody has to, in order to continue the reprocreate, they have to sleep with one of their own,
Mm-hmm.
which is where incest comes from.
Right.
There is a
Well, they're in Brazzers.
there is a huge defining portion of the world that thinks that sleeping with what could be close to an immediate relative
Mm-hmm.
is okay.
Right. Family reunions become speed dating sessions.
Right. At that point, does it really matter how old they are?
You've taken me on a wild roller coaster, sir.
Let's do it, sir. I mean, at this
But-
point,
So if you're already
Aunt Elsa's
committing incest,
85 and can't procreate, and young Lisa is 12 and she is fertile as hell, but you need to, in your mind, think to the sanctity of keeping our lineage strong.
right?
Is that a defining reason to?
It was at one point in time.
Right.
There was a point in time where that was.
Nobody comes out of the womb being like, and I mean this wholeheartedly, take it for what it's worth. No one comes out of the womb being like, I'm going to cut off my dick and become a woman. No one comes out of the womb being like, I want to seek a fucking man as a spouse or a woman as a spouse, being the same gender. No one comes out of the womb being like, I want to fuck a child. Nobody comes out of the womb thinking like that.
Right.
And this could make
But do they come out of the womb? Okay, so the only thing you left out, though, if we're gonna see, we got a lot of spikes, a lot of
I get it.
tangents. But you say all of that. Do you come out of the womb wanting to be straight? Because that was the only one you left out.
Well,
Said you addressed trans, you addressed gay.
No. Let's do that. Let's
So do you
play
come out straight?
let's play the game that you want to play. So okay, so here's the
playing
thing.
a game.
Yeah, sure you are.
No,
so
I'm
so
not.
you come out of the womb white. Did you want to be white? It doesn't fucking matter what you wanted to be.
Okay,
That's
so
the problem.
You're saying you're born guaranteed straight. Then
I'm saying that
you're comparing it to being white because that's guaranteed. I mean, you come out white, you're white.
if I come up black, I'm black.
Agreed.
Asian, I'm yellow by definition.
But I mean,
Mexican is brown, right?
But it's there. Yeah, I mean that's defined.
So you're defining race by something that's incontrollable, not even mental at all, right?
Well, if I was defining race, I'd be defining it by the race. If they have a Mexican mother and father, they came out Mexican.
Okay, so if they have a straight
that's how
mother
that
and
works.
father, shouldn't they have? I mean, if they have a mother and a father,
No, because
shouldn't they have come out? Shouldn't they come out straight by your definition of what you just said?
No,
Horse pussy.
no, they wouldn't have that either. Chances are. Garage break.
No,
No.
not yet. No, I want
Well, then, because you have yet to answer the one question that I've asked.
answer the question or ask the question again.
I
apparently.
told you the guy, because the whole thing is maps right now. Topic.
Okay.
the guy acknowledges that something is wrong in his brain.
Okay.
I'm not saying he was born that way.
Right.
Maybe he got diddled as a 3-year-old.
Diddled. I love that word.
And it fucked
Can
with
we
his...
use that as the from now on? If you touch a child, or if you, as a matter of fact, if you touch anyone that doesn't want to be touched, it's a diddle.
You got diddled.
Okay.
So
This guy
maybe
could have been diddled.
Maybe he himself was diddled.
Got it.
And whatever the reason, whatever tweaked his brain that did this to him at whatever age or whatever else, but he's acknowledging it. He's like, hey, this is here. I don't want it here. I want to get this taken care of.
I don't feel like
What do you suggest for that gentleman?
I don't feel like somebody who understands that it's wrong. I don't feel like he'll act upon his urges.
So you think he should just shut up and like acknowledge that he has that urge and never act upon it? And as long as he don't act upon it, it's cool.
Oh, okay.
Or does he seek help? And is he allowed to seek help for that? I mean, if he hadn't done nothing wrong, can he seek help for that?
I think you should be able to seek help for anything you want to. Kind of.
But without being chastised. Should he not? I mean, it shouldn't be like
doctor privilege.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
That's what it is.
Right.
I guess if someone feels the need to inappropriately touch a child, and they have to, if they have the urge to do that, yet the ability to fight it.
Because think about somebody, let's take it to another scale. Think about somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer. This guy, met up with men, fucked them, killed them, continued to fuck them, eat them, freeze them, cut them up. I mean, crazy shit. And meanwhile, his next door neighbors, great fucking guy. His coworkers, great fucking guy. No record, did his shit. He, in his mind, he had the ability to say, this is exactly how a normal person should act. Put up this front, but then have the sadistic nature and everything it took to do that.
I feel like now I kind of understand your question. Meaning that if you have that, some people wouldn't come out of the normal sources of society to be like, hey, I'm fucked up.
Right.
I know I'm fucked up. Yeah, you're right. How do you vet those people? Or how could those people vet themselves?
Right.
Not a fucking clue.
Yeah.
It's the same way being like, should this dude own a gun? Should this dude be able to vote? Should this dude be able to be around children, period? Should this dude be able to be around veterans? Should this dude be able to be around old people?
Right.
It's
that's
the same thing.
And I guess that whole thing is the benefit of the doubt. And the reason I brought this out,
right.
Actually, even straying away from the topic of what we actually talked about, the whole reason of it, because I saw it on Twitter. This guy wrote an article about maps. My first thought is, same way you did. How are you going to fucking condone this? How are you going to, blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't read his article or anything like that. It was just literally became a thought exercise for me because I was sitting in line at school waiting on Kinley.
Right.
So it's like, and I'm sitting there thinking about it, and it's like, okay, I guess I get where he's, and he even kept quoting him, or, he kept being quoted as saying, he was like, look, child molestation, any assault on a child is absolutely wrong, 100%. Nobody is disputing that. It's just the discussion of if this is a noticeable trait within yourself, should you be immediately labeled a pedophile, or should you be labeled this other thing and treated and helped and tried to be fixed before anything goes wrong, before you do become a pedophile, which is somebody who has already committed this act.
Okay.
So it just becomes semantics. It's word juggling, which I don't like.
I love the fact that you said that. But the idea of it is the fact that, like, here's the thing. Do you want this person to figure out whether or not he has some sort of issue that he needs to deal with before he touches a fucking child? Yes. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah. And
I want this person to be able to come. Matter of fact, I'll be the person that I am so... Like, if you want to shoot a motherfucker, shoot a motherfucker. As long as it's not my family. Because if you shoot my family, I'll shoot you.
Right.
If someone were to shoot you, guess what? It's coming. I'm going to kill somebody. And I shouldn't even say that out loud. But the idea of it is that retribution is the greatest form of retaliation. You know what I mean? Like, but if someone were to come up to me and be like, "Hey, listen," I know it would be a struggle. It would be an internal struggle. If someone were to, and this is how you need to look at it. This is exactly how you need to look at it. If someone were to come up to you and be like, "Hey, CT, this is weird. I don't even know how to say this to you, but one of your daughters is extremely attractive to me. Like, I don't mean like I think she's pretty. I mean like I'm pretty sure I want to have sex with her." Imagine, as a father, how you would take that.
Right.
I'd be like, "Oh, you were speaking," and then next thing you know, your neck was laying, way behind you, and somehow your head's sitting directly on your shoulders. I have no idea what you said, but if someone were to say that to you, do you feel like you have the ability to be like, "Hey, yeah, we need to talk about it before something happens"? No, you don't.
Right.
You don't. I don't. If someone were to be like, "Oh, hey, JVR, one of your kids is really hot to me," and I'm like, "You mean like on fire?" Because that's what she better be, like, literally either have a fever or a flame set to her body,
Right.
to tell me my kid's hot.
No, I get it. But again, you're talking about a scenario where you're going to make an emotional snap judgment, and it's completely well with understood if it was delivered in that manner. But what I'm talking about is a clinical situation where somebody acknowledges this and seeks help.
What do you mean?
Like literally
Can we pretend for just a second? Let's call you the maps guy.
Why?
Oh,
Why?
let's call me the
This
maps
guy.
guy.
No, this guy
Okay,
right
no,
here.
no, no,
It's
no.
Jim.
Okay, Jim. We'll call Jim the maps guy.
Okay, good. Whew.
How did he figure it out?
He notices
He saw
the
somebody.
urges. He notices the urges.
He paid attention
Mm-hmm.
to his feelings
Right.
of a minor.
Right.
Boy or girl, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Either way, he's still sick as fuck.
Right.
That means that he has already fixed a sense of prey. Let's do no. Think about it this way. Let me. Do you feel like
I see
pedophiles? Do you feel like pedophiles are predators? Do you feel like rapists are predators?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you feel like wolves are predators?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you think if a wolf sees a fox that he says, "Oh, I don't know how old that fox is.
I don't know what that fox is.
I don't know how old that fox
Oh,
is.
okay.
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That fox could be like a pup,
Right.
or that fox could be a 6-year-old, just completely mature fox.
Right.
He's gonna kill that fox. He's
Okay.
gonna do whatever he can to kill that fox.
All right.
That's the same way the predatory nation or natural. I would assume that that's the way a predatory nature of these people work.
I get it.
It doesn't make a fuck. So, do I think that there's a level of therapy that stops you from thinking that kids are sexual candy? No.
Don't think they can be fixed.
Nope.
Don't think that can
I
be
do
fixed.
not.
Interesting.
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying I do because I don't have
but
any idea
then
the
again,
science
at the same
behind
time, I
it.
don't think that once someone thinks that they're gay or realizes that they're gay, that any one person is going to be able to tell them, that's not actually the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like anyone that feels like, you know what? I used to be a boy. I don't want to be a boy anymore. I want to be a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that's a predication that someone else could change. In my mind, the majority of that stuff is mental. It's not physical. It's not because, I like to lick a pussy. That's why a girl becomes gay.
Mm-hmm. You don't think it's that, or you do think it's
I
that?
don't.
Okay. So you think it's a real thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that if someone's gay, they naturally have an attraction to
and it's a real attraction that you would give the same credit to you would a
100%.
straight situation.
100%. Do you disagree?
No, I agree.
No, I'm asking. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I agree. No, I thought we were gonna. For some reason there was even though I've always known your stance on gay people, not that you stand on them often, but
I mean, I try not to because sometimes they're small and fragile.
but I was just like, I thought we were gonna have to have that argument for a minute. I was like, I don't what, and then so
no, I don't. Do I think a person is born gay? Yeah, I think that there is something that I think there's something inside of somebody who considers themselves to be gay or homosexual, whatever. I think there's something that it's a drive.
Did I tell you? I told you about the question that I asked a devout Christian about that
No.
topic one time. I asked him. I said, imagine how you feel about your wife, like the way you feel about her. You guys have been married a long time, and and everything. Imagine how you feel
the
about her.
love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the love you have for her, and everything you have for her. Now imagine if somebody tells you, "Stop it," just like quit. Like that's not
It's
what
not
you are.
acceptable.
Just quit it. Could you do that? Now, take away what you believe that somebody is just deciding to be gay or whatever. Let's just say this person truly feels that exact same way about somebody of the same sex. They have the exact same feelings you do. Why do you expect them to be able to just stop it? Why does God expect them to be able to just, if they truly, like if they're feeling it, if it hurts when they're not near the other person, why is it okay to tell them to stop it, but it's not okay to tell? And you know what he told me? He said it was a curse.
Oh, so he believes in witchcraft.
They feel that way because they've been somewhere in their lineage had been cursed by the devil. Somebody did something that deserved the wrath of God, or he was more so focused on the devil, not the wrath of God. But it was more of like the devil put this in this lineage, and that's why it was able. Because I think I even brought up the fact that, have you ever seen a kid that you're like, oh, that kid?
Yeah, I did. The idea of somebody being so subjective to how homosexuality works is a complete and total disregard on how life works. Nobody chooses who they love, okay? Based upon
Unless
true,
you're a Russian bride.
or an Asian or Korean bride, for that matter.
Don't leave out any nationalities.
But now, as I say that, every MAPS person is going to be like, I didn't choose to love children. Be like, guess what? That's not how that shit works.
Again, here's my stance on that, and I just remembered this from what I was going to say earlier. If Jim feels this way, acknowledges it, and wants help, he should be able to get help. I really actually don't.
Should he be able to get help? Yes.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I don't actually see any reason why he needs a label to begin with. This should be something between him and a doctor.
Agreed.
Which, like you said, is doctor-patient confidentiality. So that's never going to get out. So if you're not telling your friends, if you don't need a label, like if you don't want to walk and tell your friends, oh, I've been diagnosed with MAPS.
Because this obviously, this has been, because you've hearted on this for a minute. Here's the thing. Is Jim wrong by thinking in any way, shape, or form that inappropriately touching a child is okay? Yes.
Right.
Jim should not touch a fucking child.
100%.
And if he does, the consequences of said touch should be very, very steep.
Murder.
But at the same time,
I'm just saying I don't understand the need for a label. Because the idea behind this article was that people with quote-unquote MAPS shouldn't be referred to as pedophiles because pedophiles are a group of people who have already done something. They've already done the foul thing. But a person that is identifying their situation and trying to work through it
that's
should
dumb
not
as
be
fuck.
considered a pedophile.
I disagree.
So you think they should be labeled a pedophile?
Yes. Let me ask you, you like pussy?
So what?
Do you like pussy?
At what point do you?
You like pussy?
Yes.
Okay, so you're heterosexual.
All right.
Because you're a dick wielding man, right?
What if I like murder?
Then
What if I haven't done it yet, but it's like it's there?
Then you're homicidal. There's a fucking word for it.
See, there's a different word for it though. You have homicidal tendencies.
No, you're homicidal. Homicidal means that
Okay.
you have the.
But you're not a murderer.
No.
Okay, so why don't you have MAPS, but you're not a pedophile? That's the. I guess
What do you
point.
What do you think? Let me ask you this: What do you think's worse, killing somebody or touching a fucking child?
Oh, we're not.
No, let's do
comparing
that.
the
No,
two.
let's do it. Let's have fun with it. Let's go. What do you think's worse?
I don't know. They both have like levels of.
I think if you were to kill a
The-
human being, you end their
It's-
existence.
Yeah,
If you were to touch a fucking
You
child,
fuck
you'll
up
fuck
their-
up their entire
right.
fucking life.
yeah. So I guess that falls in the category of being
Yeah.
worse.
So I wonder why, for the longest time, I was like, why in the fuck would someone like get to diddle a fucking kid and go into jail and be worried to fuck about it? You touched a fucking child. Who gives a fuck, right? You're just fucking stupid or gay or whatever.
Oh yeah, no.
But no.
Everybody hates
walk
you.
in. Yeah. You know why everyone hates fucking pedophiles?
Because they're bad.
Because pedophiles are legitimately the worst thing that's ever walked.
Just
the
the
face of this
absolute scum
fucking
of the earth. It doesn't matter what the murder.
And here's the thing. Someone could kill somebody that was very close to me. And all I want is justice. Touch my fucking child, and I swear to God, I'll spend the rest of my fucking days drawing lines on a fucking 4x4 fucking prison cell, waiting for the opportunity to kill the next breathing member of your family out of spite. 100%. No, that's not how that works. Pedophiles are legitimately the lowest form of life
Agreed. New topic.
after we smoke, but on a way lighter note. So I've heard this, and I catch some stuff from like TikTok and like Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Have you even looked into this show that's called Yellowstone? Have you even
No.
diddled the
No.
idea of said?
Oh, I don't like it. No, I haven't. I know, I get that it's like a. Here's what I know of Yellowstone. What I think I know. It's like some country western.
You know shit, sir. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's like some country western style.
Yeah.
That's
It's a ranch based show.
Country western style
So
falls into ranch.
so
Like a carrot.
I'd heard of all the big hoopla that you do about it, and I was like, and like we've talked about shows before. I tried Breaking Bad. I'm not a Breaking Bad fan. I tried the zombie one, Death.
Fuck buds.
What? Wrong?
Nothing.
No,
Continue.
let's do real life. What happened?
My phone's at 1%.
Oh, who gives
First
a
world
fuck?
problems. Well,
I
what it
mean,
was
I
was
don't give a fuck.
okay. So Jussie Smollett was found guilty in his trial. Do you realize he's been in trial?
No.
He's been in trial for all of that shit.
Why would you even ask me for any sort of
Topic
any
when
sort
I
of
had
topic
that?
when you had that in your back pocket?
Because I forgot until just now.
Holy shit!
Sorry, blame it on the garage break.
Yeah. Let's. So okay, small. Can you give me what is?
No,
he
I
being
can't
charged
because
for?
my phone's dead.
Well, I'll give you
He's-
mine. You can look it up.
Okay. He's being charged on
Did I even
that
bring my
whole
iPad up in this motherfucker?
lying. No, you never took it out of my
Okay.
console. But yeah, the whole lying about the whole attack. All I know is he was found guilty. I mean, he's not going to face any time. I mean, it's like a
Wish you would though. So
wish he would. That's what I call it when it doesn't get hard.
wish you would though.
I got that wish you would though.
I love it. That's great. So what do we? So what's the big? Here's the thing. I knew he stirred up a gas, and then it fizzled out, and then he got a free pass. So apparently his free pass just turns into a legal free pass.
Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, he was facing. I guess I'm assuming, and I'm assuming while I'm looking up, so I'm gonna assume out loud, and then
Yeah,
I'll Google
don't
it.
do it. No, I love it.
But I'm assuming that he got in trouble. What he was being quote unquote tried for was, like making false statements to the police, so on and so forth.
You mean like motherfuckers do all the fucking time?
Yeah, but he was actually being tried for it because they spent a lot of resources finding out that it was those two Nigerian men that beat the shit out of him, quote unquote.
Well, fail. I hope he gets locked up. He won't though.
No, I don't. Like I said, it's not a. Yeah, Jussie Smollett found guilty of falsely reporting a hate crime. He's been found guilty of 5 counts of disorderly conduct for making false reports to the police that he was a victim of a hate crime in January 2019. He was acquitted on one count of felony disorderly conduct. 12-person jury deliberated for more than 9 hours. Former Empire actor was charged with 6 counts. Hey, we've got noise.
I see that.
Apologize for that.
No, okay.
So yeah, that was it. That was it.
So basically, he was such a MAGA hater that he bought 2 MAGA hats to give to 2 other people, to assault him.
Yeah, fake a thing.
Yay. So, if we were to use Smollett,
He'll get fines and community service, I'll bet. That's
which he'll
basically-
never have.
And I mean,
to-
his career's fucked. Like, nobody wants to work with him anymore. Nobody wants
no,
to have him on.
you're wrong.
No,
No,
it's been
you're
proven.
so wrong.
No, I mean,
he's still on Empire, or he finished out his feature role in Empire, and a whole bunch of other people have just like stepped behind him.
I don't know anybody that's behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure The View is.
Like, a lot of people have stepped up against him.
The View.
I mean, I don't pay attention to them.
Nobody really.
That's
does,
like saying,
unless you're a
you know,
Democrat.
Yeah, but I mean, so anyways, Jussie Smollett guilty. Woot woot.
I'm happy.
Moving
about it.
on.
I'm happy about it.
What
I
else
mean,
you got?
He needs to go to prison.
I don't know about prison.
I mean, like, at least he'll be happy there.
Yeah,
He get all the anal sex and like 3 round meals a day.
it's
right?
terrible. That's
And then
terrible.
he gets
sir.
to sleep in his own bed unless he can invite Bergeron to get,
Virgil, no, that's not a good one. Virgil's dead.
Who's
the-
Virgil?
He's the creator of Off White. We talked about it the other day.
Me
Off
and-
mic.
Oh, off white.
Off mic. We talked about Off White.
Off white,
mic.
off mic.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, he passed away. A lot of have you noticed? There's been a lot of that, like, because apparently he was battling, I don't know if it was cancer or some type of disease, but was battling it quietly.
I want to know what the fuck's going on with Amazon right now.
He was
Sorry.
switching gears.
Yeah,
Amazon,
no,
go.
yeah,
Prime.
no,
what do we got?
So no, Amazon. Period.
Amazon.
Like,
Oh, that's
shut
a
down.
new website I haven't heard of.
No, Amazon just straight up, just like everything is just came to a giant halt.
What are you talking about? I
Like
just
there's
ordered
so
something
many
today.
weird things that I mean I literally just ordered your headphones like moments ago.
Because you broke mine. Other ones.
Okay, keep doing.
You broke
keep
the ones
going,
I
man,
like.
keep
I
doing
have
that.
had those a long time. You know, those were the ones that our
We
first,
started-
our
yeah,
first
we
microphone.
start- we
we
started
started
the
the podcast
podcast
with
with
those, and
those
then you broke
headphones.
them in front of
Okay.
me in malice. But continue.
I took
Amazon.
them off my fucking head, bro.
And went. Psh. I still see it in my mind every
That
time
was
I
the
close my
failure
eyes.
of the plastic, not the failure of the diameter of my dome. Like, period.
Continue
Let that
with
shit
your
go.
Amazon
So
story.
Amazon apparently has shut the fuck down today.
How?
I
I
don't
ordered
know.
something today.
I'm not telling you, I'm not saying that they're telling you that something went wrong. I'm telling you that something went wrong. Like, people all over the continental United States were like, what the fuck's up with Amazon? Like, the truck stopped moving, the whole 9 yards. Fucking, something's up. Something's amiss.
Well, I will tell you this. I ordered 32 gigabytes worth of RAM and a hard drive yesterday, and I received them today. All from Amazon.
You ordered them yesterday and received them today?
Yes.
Okay, right now.
So, for what it's worth,
Mhm.
that's my
Okay.
testament. And then I ordered something else today. I don't know. I'll receive it.
So we've replaced Jack Dorsey
Mm.
with
Jack Dorsey stepped down from Twitter.
yeah.
We
Is-
didn't replace him.
No, is that weird? That he stepped down
That
from
we
Twitter?
didn't? No.
No, it's not weird.
No.
So would it be weird if Mark Zuckerberg stepped down from
Yes.
Facebook or from Meta?
Yes.
Okay. Why? What's the
Um,
difference?
Because Mark Zuckerberg is steering Meta in the exact direction that he wants it to go. Mark Zuckerberg has
and Jack Dorsey was not
Mm-mm.
with Twitter.
Twitter became something I think that Dorsey was kind of I think it got away from what he developed or what he took part in developing, what he intended it to be, what its origination was. I think it just got away. It grew. It took on a life of its own. It actually became almost symbiotic and did something on its own and grew. And the people that use it demanded that it grow a certain way, and it grew that direction. And he was done, but that wasn't what he intended. That wasn't. I'm not saying he faults it, but it's just like, okay, this isn't a ride that I was planning on going on. So now I'm stepping off.
According to, whatever media you get to listen to that shares facts, Jack Dorsey was the person that signed off on Donald Trump not being able to post.
Right.
But still allowed the Taliban to have their own Twitter. How do you feel about that?
There's definitely been things done within Twitter that I would disagree with, or that even seem to favor like one side over another, or one situation over another. There's a lot of that shit, and I think, to be honest, if I had to guess, this is giving Jack Dorsey the benefit of the doubt. Me not claiming to know anything about this man as what he is when he's sitting at home thinking about life.
I think Jack Dorsey diddles children. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Okay. So if his thing is, it's like, this is so much bigger than me. This is more than, which I think he has stated. It's like Twitter got to be like, it ran off like things do.
Jack Dorsey is a failure. By all standards of how you take into consideration what your company is built, the basis that your company is built upon. Free speech. That is the 100%. It was literally the liberal stand until somebody said something that Jack Dorsey didn't like, and then he went against everything.
And I guess that's where I would disagree with the caveat that I have not delved into it very deeply, but I've listened to Jack Dorsey. I've listened to people who are very critical of Dorsey talk about him just, at length.
He diddles children and was on Epstein's airplane.
See, it's terrible. So. It's terrible when you do that. Allegedly. I don't even know that that's
not
alleged.
Allegedly. He was on the
You weren't there.
No, I mean...
And if you were there, then you got some answers.
I saw the flight manuscript.
Oh, well, guess I've seen
that wasn't doctored. Or apparently, if that was doctored... Okay, let's have fun with this. So let's figure out what's doctored.
How do you know it's not?
What do you mean? It was on Google. Right?
There you go. You constantly say you're...
So hold on. You mean to tell me that if it was on Google, it could be doubted upon?
Yeah, 100%. We know that. I'm not stupid. You're not stupid. We know that.
Okay. So Jack Dorsey has never been on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane?
No, I have no clue. I'm not saying to know. I don't claim to know any. You're claiming he was based on something that you've seen.
Flight records.
I'm saying I know nothing. I haven't seen fake ones. I haven't seen real ones. I haven't seen conspiracies.
How do you distinguish between the two?
I've never heard of him mentioned. I've heard the standard ones.
Jack Dorsey diddles children.
Okay, good. Hashtag it. Hashtag. Speaking of which, the hashtag, the symbol.
Yeah.
What as kids? What did we call it?
Pound.
Right. So funny that, like, does that bring
Jack Dorsey pounds kids?
No, when you when you look at the hashtag Me Too movement, does it take on any new meaning?
Pound me too. Oh, I like it.
Yeah, kind of.
So should I be?
It goes completely opposite of their whole agenda.
Here's the thing: do we do this? Do we do what we do for any sort of retribution as far as financial goes?
Are you asking if we're making money off this podcast? Because no, it's using electricity and my time, which is valuable as fuck.
Obviously, and you're getting that shit off that noisy ass machine in your.
Leave my minor out of this.
You have a minor that sounds like. Yeah,
it is not loud.
It's loud as fuck, bro. Like, I would build a different shack just so I didn't have to listen to that motherfucker.
I will when I get more. Do you want to invest in my mining farm?
I'm not. Yeah, I will. I mean, as long as I get, like, we're going to have to do contractual agreement.
No, of course, because I don't trust you for shit.
Listen, what I should call our mining farm is Jock.
Oh, now it's our mining farm
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
our-
I just
our-
asked you if you wanted to be an investor. You're
Our
already
mining
naming
fa-
it.
our-
See,
our
you
mining
kick
farm-
doors in of businesses that aren't yours. Do you?
And and guess what? We should call it the Jack Dorsey
Oh,
Mining
Jesus
Farm.
Christ.
Because we will take
Why do
from
you-
everyone
Why are you
and
so?
keep out.
Why
I
are you
hate
so
I
mad
hate
at
Jack Dorsey.
Why?
Because
And I guess I'm asking that genuinely.
Okay, so not even as an American, should I entertain your difference of opinion from mine? Something as simple as we do here.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me that the hate speech was so solid from Donald Trump that he needed to be negated? No, hold on. No. You wanted to hear? You wanted to know my problem, so I'll give you that. That we were supposed to negate everything that came out of this dude's mouth. But in retrospect, if we look back, anything that foreign leaders have said over the last, I don't know, 7 to 10 years that were anti-American, like literally, not you should rise to the occasion and fight for what is right, and then every fucking left bitch just decides to be like, oh, well, he's going against America. There's a interruption and whatever. I get it. And here's the thing. I'm a Trump supporter, but I'm more of a freedom whatever supporter. You want to attack this one dude and just shut down everything that he's going to say that has America 100% behind him. But yet you'll let ISIS, the Taliban, you'll let like foreign leaders of countries that are literally like, you know, I don't know, America's shit and they needed to die. They have their own thing. They have their own statute. They have their own soapbox to stand on. But we decided, the home of Twitter, we decided to shut it down. We decided to shut down our American president at that time. Fast forward 1 year later, we have a president that can barely put several words together, and he has an entire staff that tweets for him. And we let all that shit come out, even the ugly stuff, the blunders, the whatever, as if we are not censoring anything, making it look like our country could be the stupidest country as a great power. And we're supposed to just be like, yeah, no, Jack Dorsey, you did badass. Or fucking, and I put Jack Dorsey in the same fucking conglomerate of shitty ass people that are just trying to steer a nation. And I do it with him and his boyfriend, fucking Mark Zuckerberg.
Fine. So
It's not them?
anyways,
It's
No.
not them, then who is it?
no, I said it's
Who
not.
controls
that's not what
the
I said.
market of that?
That's not what you and my brother would get along so fucking good. Both y'all.
You mean because there's a straight line between
So,
one
here's the
point and
thing.
another, and
No.
there's not a curvature
No,
of the Earth that's not spinning because it's flat?
that's right. Flat earther. No. So let me see how far back I can drop into all that and make my points. Okay. Now we're gonna go into my world.
All right. Holy shit! I don't know if I'm that left.
Let's
do this.
say Jack Dorsey has his hand in starting this company, this Twitter, and it grows to what it is.
Let's pretend like
No,
it's
I'm
not
saying-
the real world.
Okay.
Okay, can we start from facts though?
Oh boy, do it.
Let's
We're gonna
do
go
it.
verbiage. I don't want to go verbiage. Let me tell my story. I let you talk.
Do your thing.
So he starts this company. You okay there, Papa?
Yeah.
So it turns into a giant machine that gets away from him.
Mhm.
Now, let's say the Trump thing comes up. I don't know. I'm not endorsing. I'm not getting behind the whole Jack Dorsey signed off on Trump. And the reason I'm not getting behind it is because I know absolutely nothing about it. I literally know zero about it. So, again, we're just going into a different scenario. Jack Dorsey's presented with a situation where he has to ban Trump from Twitter, and it's going to come to his desk. He has to be the one that signs it. The quote unquote powers that be, the super elite, the
that you don't believe in.
the whatever it is, the puppeteers that everybody is that I'm not saying there's not some truth to. I'm just not jumping full blown into the
the idea that you'd be like, oh, well, maybe there's something. Then
there's
that just give you acquisition to the entire.
I can believe there's something to an idea. It doesn't mean that the idea is 100% formulated as factual correct. It means there might be pieces of it that, okay, I can see where you got there, but I'm not there yet. I'm still looking at these. So anyways, so the super elite comes to Jack Dorsey and they say, you sign off on this. And he says, but I love my Twitter. Twitter's my baby. This is what I do. Blah, blah, blah. No, you do it. Okay. Boom. He does it. And then he realizes how big the machine has gotten, how out of his control it is, and how at the end of the day, he doesn't have the control. So he steps down. Graciously, he says, the dude that's heading it up is going to do great things. Let him do his thing, but it's not my thing anymore. Because at the end of the day, Twitter was started with a group of friends as a way of communicating. That's what the original ats were. The ats were only to include
talk directly to somebody.
Directly. It was like a walkie-talkie system of texting within a group of people. It was a network. And think about how an idea starts.
I love the idea that you negate factual information for a information generation.
Okay, so Jack Dorsey to you was just an evil genius from the beginning that created something that would take over the world and end your president.
No. Oh, that's really ugly for you to say, and I love that.
I did it on purpose.
No, I get that.
I did it on
purpose. It's super
purpose.
adorable that so many people have that idea.
You know what I hate?
What?
Okay, no, you did. You said that correctly, so I'm going to back off what I was going to say.
The super idea.
Because you get fired up at me when I say stuff like that, not realizing that I'm saying it on behalf of those people.
Listen, here's the thing. I will tell you this. CT is, and I'm speaking to whoever's listening, CT has always been able to exemplify an array of other people that he could speak for. Right. And I grant you for that 100%. It's great. The idea that Jack Dorsey started this machine with the intent from what I would consider mass destruction. It's not, but that his idea of starting this company was just to destroy humanity. No. Fuck. That would be like, let's go back. Let's do like the greatest proprietors. Edison, like Bell. Let's do any of those.
Yeah, but even those guys were starting off doing something. They did know they were doing something great. So I'm not even going to give them that caveat. I'm talking about somebody almost like us. More closer to us than closer to Edison. As far as just
Jack Dorsey started a platform that is epic. Do I denounce the fact that it's epic? No. Do I denounce the fact that?
But did he mean for it to be epic? That's the idea.
Okay, but did he have control over it for a great time? Well, after it became epic, to say that.
Well, because
Twitter wasn't epic in 2010, that would be stupid.
Okay, but also that's like, okay, you're on a horse. I don't know why, but you're on a horse, and it's like, it's kind of maybe like. The horses run a little faster than what you're used to, but it's like you feel good. It feels okay.
Oh, I love the fact that you make Jack Dorsey the fucking, and you are simply justifying Jack Dorsey as the fucking victim of, oh, it happened so fast, I lost control.
No, I'm not even talking about happening so fast. It's we've all done it. We've been in a car. And you've gone a certain speed, and then you've pushed it, and then you've pushed it, and then you've pushed it, and you just
justified pedophilia.
No, shut up.
No,
'Cause
no, let's do
'cause
it.
You're being
No,
ridiculous.
no, let's have fun
no,
with it.
no, because
No,
that's
no.
not fun.
No,
No,
no, no.
there's nothing fun about your statement.
No, let's
you
have fun
you
with
just
it.
justify pedophilia.
Right.
No.
Oh, man, I thought
Oh.
this one chick was
Oh.
kind of cute. And the next thing you know, the next chick was hot. And then this chick
no.
was... And then I saw a chick in a bathroom by herself. So I, decided to take advantage of her.
Okay, you're being no. Please go with that simply to bury your own logic. That's silly as fuck. What
So
I'm
what's your
talking about is
logic?
real. Okay, here's my logic.
Okay.
He developed something,
Uh-huh.
and it had a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and it fit a niche, and he was doing, and it was cool, and then it grew, and it was growing, and it was growing, and he was growing with it. It's like, okay, this is my company, and you're growing with it, and then you start taking on investors and board members, and there's other ideas, and there's this,
Stop
and
right
there's
there.
this.
Before the board members, if one person were to say, man, banging kids is hot.
Okay, what are you
And
doing?
the next thing you start a movement. You
What
start
are you
a
doing?
movement of like, oh well, now
You're making this
like
to where
it
we
was
can't
just
even have
me
a-
and this other guy Earl.
We can't even
Now
have a conversation.
Larry and then Carl wants to fuck kids too, and then the next thing you know, like
You're not-
Al and like
You're making
Albert,
zero sense.
And then and they're like, you know what? We've created a movement.
Goose eggs.
And then what we need to do is we need to push forward. And now what we have is maps. So what we have is maps, and then we have fucking Jack Dorsey, and the fact that he has censored every factual thing that I feel to be, or most.
I love how you petered that whole argument out with absolutely random words that meant absolutely nothing. So here's the thing. I get that you're digging your heels in for some reason on hating Jack Dorsey. Go for it. That's your thing.
Jack Dorsey even looks like a fucking
I
pedophile.
have zero knowledge about Jack Dorsey doing anything nefarious.
Other than diddle kids.
No, I don't know anything about that. And I don't think you do either, but I mean,
I don't.
you know, we don't do facts here very
Right.
obviously
We've
by
stated that
your
from
whole
the
stream
beginning.
of consciousness.
How many people do you think that would actually listen to any conjecture that we have? Can set aside the fact that why would you censor a platform that's based upon free speech? The ability to talk.
I'll tell you. Here's the thing. I'll give you the reason. I'll play the most devil's of devil advocates.
Please do.
Christianity was.
Oh wow. You went
Well,
like you put the shovel on the ground and then jumped on it. Like, oh, let's do it.
So-
I want to go as deep as we
okay, so Christianity is a very good form of compliance, a very good form of like a set of rules.
Greatest statement that
Um,
you've ever said that came out of your mouth. Christianity is the greatest form of compliance
Right.
that's ever existed.
Right.
Thank
So
you. Go ahead.
it's all laid out. The rules are there. You follow them. This is what you're supposed to get. But at the end of the day, whether you believe in a great creator and a heaven and a hell and everything else, if that never happens, and I've said this to you before, if that never happens, for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, the Christianity that I've seen, the churches that I've attended, the people that I've talked to,
Live a good life.
that's the worst thing that can happen. By the time you've died, you've probably led a pretty decent life if you've tried your damnedest to live by those rules. Now, that's keeping people in line and creating a society that can possibly thrive if everybody falls to that. Now, we are free will thinking, so everybody has their beliefs. There's people that do believe in that, don't believe in that, so on and so forth. But if you look at social media and you look at the things that are discussed and the things that are talked about, and our government can see that as well. And if our government deems something inappropriate or something like that, they could actually they can make a social change if they want to go in and tweak the algorithm. If you want to go in and change how much of something that people see and how much of other things that they see, if you could truly go in there and tweak that and have control over it, then you're going to control your people. That's proven by the Chinese government. The Chinese government has their fingers in every single corporation within their country.
Or Stalin, or I mean,
So it's now, does our government do it to us? Yes, I would have to believe they do, and the reason that I believe they do is because I know they do it to other countries. So why wouldn't they do it to their own? Other countries are doing it to us. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's being social media diddled. We've got uncles that we rarely ever see over in Russia, just like reaching up skirts and just fucking with shit, just fucking with us.
love it.
And getting us arguing, getting us it. Okay, so on Facebook, somebody did somebody broke down the analysis and basically found that 20 out of the top 20 Christian groups on Facebook, the top 20 on Facebook. We're talking, we all know how big Facebook is, so you know how many people are in those groups. The top 20, 19 of them were Russian bots. Their groups were controlled by just a bunch of propaganda.
I don't scream church. Never had. Never have. Can you agree? I scream
agree.
God, but I don't scream church. Maybe I should.
But you have to keep in mind, this isn't a church thing.
No.
Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna make it quick. I'm gonna let you continue.
No, go ahead.
It's not a church thing in this instance. What you have is addressing whatever agenda you want to address through the church, through the people that are so devout and they're Christian, and that's not a bad thing. What you're believing in with Christianity, and you devote everything you have to the Bible, and it's 100% true, and Jesus walked on water, and everything, all of it's true. You believe that wholeheartedly. You should not be faulted for that. However, somebody is using that to tell you something fucked up.
Right.
And they're using it as a little keyhole, and they're getting right to you because it's coming from.
That's the beauty of Islam and the Muslim religion. You basically just didn't. I will do this definitely. You'll basically just shit the bed on the idea of the Muslim religion, which is one of the most sacred and peaceful religions you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Islamic religion seems to be a little bit more Christian based.
Right.
Sorry if people don't like it.
Well, I mean, the story from the Bible is that, and I know I'll butcher this, I'll get it wrong, but at the end of the day, there was a guy. Here's my Bible breakdown.
This should be fun.
CT's Bible breakdown.
Oh shit.
There was this dude, and he had a wife, and they wanted to have a kid, and she wasn't pulling it off. She just, he's banging on it, no kids coming.
Well, what if it was his thing though? What if he wasn't?
Maybe.
What if his gentlemen
Maybe.
weren't coming out?
Well, and there wasn't no cup to put it in at the time.
No one to test it.
Right.
Okay, got it.
So, he's banging on it, nothing's happening. So he's, you know what? I got this maid here. She's fucking, dusting and shit. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger situation. So he starts pounding that out. Boom, boom, boom. She has a kid. Boom. Gave me a son. Hell yeah. Look at you go.
Do that.
Wife's all sad and shit. She had went to God to pray. Can I please have a son? Because I think this motherfucker's going to start banging the maid if I don't.
Because he already did.
Little did she know. He's just
Right.
pounding on it. So God's like, all right, I'll give you a kid. And God probably knew. He's already over there banging it out. I mean, God knows, right? So God had to know. So she ends up pregnant. She's like, now I'm pregnant. He's like, fuck, I already got this kid and this chick. But then she spits out a son. He's like, it's my wife. I mean, wife's number one, right? Side chick, you got to go. Like, literally, you got to go. Like, you and the kid and no child support. Y'all find a different town. Like, go somewhere.
Roll off.
Go. So, at that point, during that split, this kid is pretty ill will towards his dad. Like, they hung out, they played catch a little bit. And then all of a sudden, he's like, nope, I got my kid. You were just a placeholder.
Right.
Go somewhere. That was a development of the Muslim religion.
Yeah. No, I get that.
So, at what point do we?
At what point? Can I kill you real quick?
Yes, kill me.
At what
Can't
point,
enable this bitch right now.
Okay. So at what point do we make the decision what's good, bad, or ugly? We don't. Here's the thing. For years, I've had hundreds of people say to me, trust your gut, trust your gut, trust your gut. You mean to tell me that you can't, like, walk up to a situation and tell me, this is good, bad, or this is, I don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do, what do? You stop, think, act, and review.
Mm-hmm.
You literally pull back, look at the situation, and go from there. This is what I say to tons of people all the time, every day.
Did you just do something for Star?
Yeah, start.
Okay.
Stop, think, act, and review. I know this is dumb as fuck, but listen to me.
Tony Robbins in this motherfucker right now.
So, when you come up to a situation that feels unfamiliar, obviously you stop, think about, process the information.
Mm-hmm.
About how it's going to work for you, how it's going to work for the other person, how it's going to work for whomever, every party involved.
Right.
Review said,
Act.
And then you act upon that.
Mm-hmm.
You act upon
Your
the
information.
best possible gathering of information and intel that you have. Act on it. And then once it's done, review it. Make sure that you've done everything. You've closed every door. Every action that you've done, you've closed out.
Okay.
So when you do that, you end up finding yourself in a way better place.
Okay.
So whether it be Jack Dorsey, whether it be Muhammad, whether it be Jesus, whether it be, and I'm not comparing any of these people. Let's make that perfectly clear. I'm not comparing.
That's a weird Mount Rushmore.
Or CT or JVR or whatever it is. What's the hardest thing that you're encompassed with all the time?
Morningwood.
Okay. No, I'll give. Okay.
That's like some Club of Baby Seal shit.
No, seriously, I could kill a seal with my dick. I'm not fucked up about that at all. The second hardest thing that you deal with day to day, decisions that you have to make constantly. And
should I wake up? Should I take?
I don't think you have. I don't think anyone
morning
have
shake?
the decision of whether or not you should wake up. It's what you do after you wake up. I think your body.
I can
says
decide whether or not I wake up.
Yeah, if you do something the night previous, which is a
Previous
predetermined
decision,
yeah,
not
okay.
right then. Okay.
So you wake up and then you make a decision based upon what's your main goal, whether you want it to be a greatness or whether you want it to be a fair. And I don't think for a second that people don't wake up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this day off.
Right.
I think they do. I've done it.
Right.
The predication of just doing life at bare minimum is shitty.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Don't go through life being C average.
Right.
Try to get an A, but if you don't get an A, you might get a B, and then life is better.
Yeah.
That's what B is for. Is B is for better.
The idea that you walk through life every day and survive should be an accomplishment.
Right.
Do you agree?
You know what yes. You know what I heard some guy say? I'm gonna try it on you.
And don't lick it?
I'm gonna try it on you.
Okay.
I'm gonna TikTok you right now. You ready? You've
TikTok
probably
the
already
fuck
seen
up.
it.
Go ahead.
If I gave you $1 million, would you be happy? Do you know what you'd do with it? Would it make you happy? Like if I literally handed you $1 million right now, would it make you happy in this moment?
Honestly?
Oh, Jesus Christ. This motherfucker's gonna nitpick shit. $10 million. I hand you $10 million fucking dollars. Just I'm talking about right now. I mean, I'm handing you $10 million. I mean, come on.
Yes, it's gonna fix
handing you $10
million.
million. What are you thinking right now? Some shit's bomb, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna fix a bunch of shit that's going on.
I mean, pretty much take care of everything. I would assume
everything.
I mean, you wouldn't have. I mean,
no, I know where
you
you're
can make
going.
some smart decisions. Okay, now, if I gave that to you, but I told you, you can't wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna give you this $10 million. You get it right now. It's whatever time it is in the evening. And I'm going to hand you this, but you can't wake up tomorrow.
Just tomorrow or ever again?
You don't wake up ever again.
I'll take it.
You take You fucker. See, and I mean, of course, because I always play devil's
will.
advocate, I had that same very
No,
thought.
no, and it's
The
not,
whole
it's
idea
not
of it.
devil's advocate.
Okay, but the whole idea of it is no, you wouldn't, and then that means tomorrow is more important to you than $10 million, and then everybody sobs, and
No.
I'm
The
exaggerating,
understanding
but
the
that
fact
is the idea. That's how it goes every time on
I still
TikTok.
sustain as a human being. I mean, if you give me $10 million, my wife and my kids.
Right, you set everything up and then you drop off. But I
Yeah.
mean, you're good about dropping off. Like, is it worth $10 million for you to drop off to not see your kids get married? Is it cool? Is $10 million worth? I mean, start weighing it out. I mean, really think about you. Yeah, you're setting them up. It's like, yeah, that's that moment of they're good for life, probably. Unless
I guess it ultimately depends on whether or not I feel like I'll be able to see them do whatever they do after I die. So if
you won't. How will you if you're dead?
I mean, if you believe in the afterlife.
So you're just watching everybody all the fucking time. How weird is that? Because I don't know about you, but I've old tug of war with Cyclops a few times, and I'm hoping old Grams ain't watching. You know what I mean? And if she is, I mean, we should have had that. What are you doing?
So if it meant me staying alive, and I mean this wholeheartedly, if it meant me staying alive and my children being without and me dying and them having everything that they need, then yes, I'll die. I'll die tomorrow. I'll take a bullet right now.
I get that. I understand that sentiment.
And that's what it is.
But here's the thing. My belief is this also. If your kids were asked
No, they wouldn't.
at 30 years old, when they've had
Wouldn't.
they've
I'll
had,
tell you, they wouldn't.
they wouldn't.
I already know
What?
question you're
What?
asking.
No, you're
they
full of,
wouldn't.
okay. So what? What question am I going to ask you?
Would they give up everything to save me that my life's already completed on? No, they wouldn't.
If you asked your kids, or if your kids were asked,
Could I save my father that's 60 or 70 years old?
no.
Oh.
It was a.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Remember when your dad died? Remember the day that your dad passed away and everything that you were riddled with when your dad passed away. If you could give up everything you've had, everything that he left you, because he died, you were able to live the life that you've led. Now you just got to rewind, but everything is golden. Your dad is back and you get to see what your life was with your dad versus what you know it already was with your millions of dollars and your trust fund and what you had that he set up by dying that day.
That's a hard-ass question.
Well, of course. I mean, you don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe like, I really love these Gucci slippers. Fuck that dude. But they may also,
I guess
based
I
on.
look at life a little bit differently than that scenario. Not you
Right.
personally. I look at this.
I get the setup. I get the sacrifice. I get the.
Here's the thing. So if someone were to ask me, you die today, but your children live like kings, I was like, put it right here, like right in my nostril.
Right.
But
you're also willfully taking something away from them because you don't know what you're going to deliver to either one of your children from now until the time that they're 40.
Truth.
You have no idea what
Truth.
you might,
Truth.
what situation they might run into.
The idea of
had
me
you-
stealing something from my children at that level scares me. I don't know. I guess no one's ever asked me that question to where I have to like really rethink it.
Because I mean, if you think about it, it's like
But selfishness is that based upon something that only grows you. So I will rob something from my children to make sure that they have everything that they need, and that's my answer.
And that's your answer.
Yeah, I don't want every day.
But you know, statistically, like if you literally make the comparison between economical and actual involvement in a life, statistically, you're setting them more up for failure by saying, you know what, economically, I have set you up. I've given you $10 million and then I faded off into the black. And now you do. And then one of them could develop a crack addiction. What if, like, statistically,
I get it.
there's that.
But
then statistically, there's the nurturing and what you're quote unquote robbing them from, which is being the good father that you
So,
are, being the father that's involved in their life.
Let's expand that out a little. So, and I think you already know the answer to this question. If you don't, I apologize. Apparently, I haven't made it clear to you. Do you think I would die for you?
Um,
I know it's sketch. You probably weren't ready for that question. Do you think I
Yeah.
would stand in front of a bullet for you?
it's a possibility.
No, yeah, I think you already know I would. And I don't want you to you know that I would die for you.
He said, I don't want you to answer it though,
Yeah,
because you're probably going to hurt my feelings.
I know that
That's a situational thing, but I get what you're saying in the grand scheme of things.
if I were to die for you because you mean so much to me,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean that I died not loving my children enough?
No, of course not.
Okay. So statistically,
No, but
basically
see,
what I would do.
but this
what I
isn't.
so what would you? It's a morality standpoint. Here's the thing. I know AT's a fucking bomb ass mom. I got that. I know you got bomb ass kids. I know you got a bomb ass minus mom. You got a bomb ass support system. I know everything's good, but if you get to breathe another breath, yeah, that's worth it for me. I'm sorry. I know that's probably a shitty way to think.
No, I get what you're saying, but that becomes, I guess.
Let me ask you the hardest
whole
question you've ever been asked.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to the happiness of you
Mm-hmm.
or the happiness of someone else, what's more important?
I've always, the happiness of someone else. Depending on the person, not just any random person.
I don't mean the dude that you met at like the
Right.
barber.
Because I am shitty to people in
Right.
public.
I know.
Yeah.
I've watched you. You're a fucking asshole. But what I'm saying is by general.
But yes, but somebody I care about, yes, I do get
so why
much
would you-
more
why
out
would
of their
you second
happiness.
guess anything that I said?
Because
do I think
still
that,
because
do I think that you would
because
jump in front of a bullet for me? I don't know.
what you're talking here's the difference, and I'll explain, because you said why. So here's the reason. What you're talking about is an actual long-term thought out decision that can be made of, all right, I can take a bullet to the face right now and my kids get $10 million. Or I can do my best to be in their life and raise them right. To me, honestly, I believe I can
Raise them right better than the $1 million.
better than the money.
Right. Agreed.
Better than what the money would do for them. Because yes, I mean, we all love things. Everybody loves things, but it has literally been proven, and this isn't just something that poor people say. It has been proven that past 80,000 a year, you're not getting any more happiness out of your money. Your money
Was
isn't
there a
providing
dollar
you-
amount that was based upon 80 grand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
At an average of 80,000 when whatever source they took, I don't know exactly the
So
science
when you
behind
broke like 120, is that why you became unhappy?
when you reach about 80,000 a year on average salary, it's like you're generally a comfortable living person. Now at that point, living that comfortability, and then what you decide is your happiness. Now, if all you do is look at the next guy and go, my truck isn't good enough, my house isn't good enough, then yeah, you're going to be a miserable person even as a millionaire. But at the end of the day, 80,000 is about all it takes for money to make a difference. After that, it's who you are as a person, what your family, what your friends, what you're this, what you're that. So the idea of dropping 10 million in my kid's lap and going, they're going to be good, because actually I believe that
They're
2 out
not.
of 4 of them to make a good decision. I'm 50% right now because the other ones are too young to decide yet. They're doing some fucked off shit. There's poppers and fucking AirPods and shit. I don't know you buy out an Apple store. I'm not exactly proud of you. I mean, I took a bullet to the face. I'm doing things here. So otherwise I could have taught you that that's not a good investment, because Apple's going to come out with a better earbud later and it's going to be half the price.
And you didn't have to fucking waste all your cash.
Exactly. So I feel like I can offer more, but even that, I honestly feel like my kids at that point would make would say, if given that choice, yeah, I would give everything up to rewind and have him
I know
you know,
this.
maybe more hair, but have him where he was
Not
at
not
that
really.
point.
I can give you this. I know at the end of the day, if it came down to a convenience store robbery where you were gonna die or I was gonna die, I know that it would be a very simple and quick decision to make sure that I passed before you. Only reason being is because, and I don't tout this enough, is how epic of a human being I consider you to be.
But that,
And so if I do anything,
but I'm not worth negating your worth over. Regardless of how cool you think I am, great. That's grand. I'm glad.
that's
I'm
up to you. Your worth is based upon what you think. Can we agree on that? Your worth is based upon nothing else but how you feel your worth is worth. I have to tinkle. It's done.
we're doing
I have to pee. So if you want to close out, I have tried.
like close out the podcast.
Oh my God.
Let's Smoke About It podcast.